total meltdown. That is what you have to say in this semi-final encounter that you saw between Daniil Medvedev and Carlos Alcaraz. So, people who are joining us now, your finalists for Wimbledon 2023 when it comes to the men have been decided. Novak Djokovic defeated Yannick Sinner in straight sets. And if you look at it, Daniil Medvedev, who we thought was going to be the favorites because of his prowess in grass and because of his agility, has been beaten in three straight sets by Carlos Alcaraz. 6-3, 6-3, 6-3. As identical and as one-sided as you can get. And remember, this is a big revenge that Carlos Alcaraz has taken over Daniil Medvedev. 2 years ago, in 2021, in the second round, Daniil Medvedev had beaten Carlos Alcaraz in straight sets. Now, 2 years later, Alcaraz has repaid it in a big way by beating Medvedev 6-3, 6-3, 6-3. Every single set, Medvedev was found wanting, and Alcaraz's domination, especially the serve, the baseline, and as well as the forehand which he employed, totally threw Medvedev's game awry. And that is why 6-3 he lost in the first set, 6-3 in the second. Third set also, everything was the same. Although in the third set, if you may argue, Medvedev staged a kind of a mini comeback. He was 3-0 down. His serve was broken twice. But then he recovered, broke Alcaraz and held serve. 3-2 at one point you felt that yes, Medvedev is finally making a match out of this. But now it's not happened, and that is why Djokovic's brilliance earlier in the day combined with Alcaraz's brilliance has set up a mouth-watering Wimbledon final 2023. Alcaraz versus Djokovic. It is the kind of a passing of the torch moment yet again. Because remember in 2001, when Roger Federer had beaten Pete Sampras in 5 sets, that was the era when we thought that yes, the passing of the torch has happened. It's now time for the new generation. But Novak Djokovic and Carlos Alcaraz. I mean, Djokovic is in such prime form that you wonder who can beat him. Maybe it's Carlos Alcaraz, but remember, on Alcaraz's favorite surface, which was clay, he was found wanting against Djokovic, especially when it came to fitness and the attritional style of play that he employed. So that is why Carlos Alcaraz heading into the final, which will be played on Sunday, it is a very tough tussle. Djokovic is on course to make it 8 Wimbledon titles. That will put him level with Roger Federer. If he wins that, he gets to 24 Grand Slam titles, which in the Open era itself is a magnificent feat. He will draw level with Margaret Court. But remember, Margaret Court also won Grand Slams in the amateur era. So in the Open era, she won very few, but in the amateur era, she had won a lot more. So Novak Djokovic winning 24, and his dominance across surfaces is remarkable. I mean, he's won 10 he's won 10 Australian Opens, 7 Wimbledon, 3 French Open and 3 US Open titles. That is the spread of Djokovic's dominance in his 23 Grand Slams. So Alcaraz versus Djokovic. You may say that yes, on paper, Djokovic holds the key. He will be one of the most, it'll be very difficult to stop Novak Djokovic. But at the same time, if there's anybody who we thought that can stop him, is Carlos Alcaraz. We thought Medvedev could do it, but Medvedev was totally outclassed by Alcaraz today. And the style of play that was there, the baseline, the serve in particular, the lack of unforced errors in the first 2 sets ensured that Carlos Alcaraz was in top form. Now, Medvedev at this point in time, he will be wondering what went wrong. You could see during the course of the match and even in the middle, he was gesturing to his box, to his entourage there. What the hell is happening? Because he could not figure out where he was going wrong. Whether was it his serve, whether was it his return of serve. Everybody was flummoxed at the meltdown that Daniil Medvedev had. And unfortunately, he has been the pantomime villain when you look at it. The crowd have not warmed up to him, although in this edition of the Wimbledon 2023 edition, the crowds have warmed up slightly to Daniil Medvedev. And that is why it's going to be an epic clash. So, finals weekend is upon us. We are going to see Vondrousova versus Ons Jabeur in the women's singles final on Saturday. On Sunday, Alcaraz begins his quest to deny Novak Djokovic a record 24th. Thank you so much, folks, for joining us for this live. We'll be back with more updates on sports today. Tap that bell icon so you know when we go live. And don't forget, we're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram as well. Thank you.